Indian Parliament, the architecture of India Parliament is inspired by certain architecture which is much older in India, and it's inspired by the temple structure of 64 yoginis. Today we will understand about 64 yoginis and the significance of number 64 and the significance of yoginis in our life. Before understanding 64 as a number, we will understand what is meaning of yogini. Yogini comes from a Sanskrit word yoga and ini. Yog is also a Sanskrit word which originates from a word yuj. Yuj means combining or bringing together. So yoginis are somewhere seen in Indian philosophical foundation that they give you power of uniting something. They give you power of getting together and bringing it together. So that is what is most important aspect of 64 yoginis. Though you will be able to see these temples across India, but for few of the famous are in Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, part of south of India, and also towards east of west of India. Now we will understand what is the significance of this number 64. According to Indian philosophy, there are three gunas, that is Tamoguna, Rajoguna, and Sattva. Tamoguna talks about dullness or inaction. Rajoguna talks about action, and Sattva talks about purity. So inaction to action, action to purified actions, I mean to say. So inaction to action, action to purified action, and beyond purification, purified life also. So this is what is the concept of three gunas. These yoginis are divided into 64 numbers. So there would be 64 yoginis who will give you tamoguna, 64 yoginis who will give you perspective of rajoguna, and 64 yoginis who will give you uh, perspective of sattva. So there are in total 64 of tamoguna, 64 of rajoguna, 64 of sattva. So this is what is the conceptualization of yogini. It seems a little complex, however, we will see, make it more simplified and understand the meaning of 64. 64, if we divide 64, it gets into uh, equal parts as 8 and 8. This is an expression of totality, realized totality, and perfection. So this gives you a perspective of realized totality and perfection. 64 also gives you a perspective of static realization. If we combine, if we sum 6 and 4, it goes to 10, and the original number 1 plus 0 gives you 1. 1 is a number which gives you static realization, the ultimate realization. It also gives you the liberation. It also allows you to realize the full potential that you have within yourself. There is a famous Sanskrit verse which says, Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Everything is perfect. If you will take out perfection from perfection, it remains perfect. If you add perfection into perfection, it gives you perfection. So in today's life, when we talk about void or infinity, it is nothing but the Purna concept which is given by the Indian philosophy. 64 is the first number in the number system which is perfect square and perfect cube as such. So it is a cube of 4 and square of 8. So it's a first number which appears in this entire number system, which is the first number which is perfect square and perfect cube. According to Tamil literature, 64 is a number which takes you at the topmost level. and it makes you acquire best of the friends. So it is talking about union, and it removes the opposition. It says that eradication of opposition and bringing yourself at the topmost position. The worship of 64 yoginis is not popular among common people like us. It is more popular among tantric sect of Indian uh, belief system. So tantric people worship 64 yoginis for attainment of their realized and non-realized aspects, or maybe wishes of their life. So these realized and non-realized can be materialistic and non-materialistic. So that is why tantric people are away from the main society, because we do not understand their perspective. Their perspective is totally different. The perspective of tantric people goes that there is nothing bad and good in this world. Everything is bad as well as good. If there is a bad smell, there is a good smell also. But then what is important is smell, and that is why we see that tantric people follow certain rituals which are not accepted by we all common people, and that is why they remain away from the main society. In this entire attainment of the realized and unrealized potentials and wishes of them, they have made their own universities. We know that in India there was Nalanda and Takshashila in the olden time. In the same similar way, Tantric people had set up their own universities. In Madhya Pradesh, Hirapur in Odisha are few of the universities which were created, and where you will see the circular uh, temples of 64 yoginis. 64 yoginis will always be worshipped together. They will be worshipped in a group. Though it is 64, but their origin source is again Mool Maya or Mahamaya, which is the greatest illusion of this world. From the illusion, we have seen that there are 8 Matrukas. Out of these 8 Matrukas, the remaining 56 yoginis have been realized. So 56 yoginis and 8 Matrukas makes a set of 64 yoginis. And 64 yoginis will be worshipped in different form, maybe with an idol or with a symbol, or maybe with unrealized identification also. I am not going to narrate the 64 names of the yoginis, that you can Google and see. However, what I am emphasizing here is that though the 64 yoginis are unidentified or maybe unrealized by us as common people, it is done by tantric people. However, when we talk about tantra, then it is more about understanding. So understanding is most important. So when we talk about these 64 yoginis, these are nothing but the 64 siddhis that we wish to bring in our life. So there would be multiple skills within us. So what this number and 64 yogini says is that union yourself with that kind of unrealized self. So realized self is we, and unrealized is the skill. So when we want to attain that skill, we have to start imbibing good and bad of that particular skill, and it becomes together. For an example, if I am singing, as a physical body I am singing, and as a siddhi or maybe knowledge I am taking that singing lessons within me and imbibing within me. However, is it possible for me to become neutral and we look at that particular skill and myself with a third perspective, with a separate perspective, and understand the good and the bad of my own skill attainment and take my journey ahead? And that is what we have to learn from the aspect of 64 yogini. May we all realize these hidden yoginis, or maybe semi realized or largely realized yoginis, and we will take our path ahead, where we will come to realize unrealized to realize, and we union ourselves with that particular skill of the life. धन्यवाद.